So the first question, Ogwala Yaya, she says, what would be your rule of thumb on how much or what percentage of your profits you should save for a rainy day? It's an excellent question. One of the problems that I think many kingdom business people, many business people, encounter is this question of inadequate cash reserves. By the way, majority of businesses that shut down because of lack of cash. I mean, they say cash is king. Actually, we are kingdom entrepreneurs. We say Jesus is king, but cash is one of his ministers. I mean, you respect cash. And so the reason that many people don't have cash for their business, number one, is ignorance. They didn't know when they were writing their business plan. They didn't know to write a business plan. They didn't know to prepare to have adequate cash to run the business. Number two, their lifestyle. Maybe they wanted to finance their lifestyle through their business and didn't understand the business is like a child. First, you invest before your child can contribute anything. And it's going to be a while before your child contributes to your family. So they started to eat from the business before the business was ready to support them. And those are some of the things, and a combination of those kinds of things make people struggle with finance. So we tend to withdraw the profits from our business before our business is ready. And maybe we're using them for our lifestyle, maybe we're using them to meet our costs, maybe we're using them for vacations or to buy ourselves the assets we've always wanted. Maybe we're using this to do the things that we thought our business was meant to do, as opposed to understanding that our business needs reserves to cushion it from shocks. And so I'll be honest with you, I've always treated business the way I treat my personal finance. And I always say that, just the same way, I live below my means. I always do that. In my personal life, I do it in my business life. Live below what your business can afford. Have an office that's cheaper. Right now, you don't need an office, praise God. But have an office that's cheaper than what you think you need. Figure out ways to bootstrap, cut your costs, keep them low. Why? Because then you're able to build reserves to save and to invest. Now, you move a bit slower when you do that, by the way, for sure. But here's the thing, you won't have the fear. And that's what happens. Many people, what they do is they borrow instead because they want to move forward. But when you save to grow, then what happens is you grow slower, but you grow steadier, and there's a lot more peace of mind. So the reality is you're going to have challenges. And here's what I'm going to say. Number one, if you're running your business, you should be at least saving 10% of your profits, of what's coming in. You should be saving that, 10%. Why? Because you want to create what we call an emergency fund. And you should ideally, if you're running costs, 50,000 shillings a month, I'm going to use that as an example, you should have at least 3 times that, 150,000 as a savings in your savings account. That's called your emergency fund. It's readily available, but it's not touched. You don't want to touch it for just anything. They say 3 to 6 months, depending on the risk in your business. And so you need to be making sure you're putting aside that. So at least start by putting aside 10% Ogwala every month, and you're building towards that. And what happens is once you've built your emergency fund, you've got that intact, you've invested it in something that will keep it far away from you, but you can get it within a couple of days if you desperately have to have it. Then you can start saving towards what we call a CapEx fund, a business expansion fund. And you can put that, you can increase, as your business increases capacity, you can increase. So you're able to put aside even more of what is coming in towards building your business. So these are some of the thoughts I have. I mean, I would say for a business person, one little tip is as you're starting your business, make sure you're paying yourself a salary. That should be in your business plan. What is your remuneration for running the business? And if the business can't afford you, which many times it can't, at least take something out. Put that at least what you're going to be taking at the beginning. But make sure that whatever is owed by the business is also documented, because that's what you call now a business, the owner loan. You're giving your business a loan, And basically what you do when you're loaning your business, whether it's assets or cash, you can withdraw that later, and that will have a tax benefit to you. But make sure you're paying yourself so that you're not coming at times of emergency to dig out of your fund. That business is not you. The business is an entity by itself, so treat it with respect in that way. So I hope that helps. So make sure you're putting aside some reserve against it. Right now we're in the middle of an emergency that none of us anticipated. And those businesses that have adequate reserves right now are not. I've got a friend of mine who told me I've got enough reserves to run my business for the next year without firing anybody, without any stress. That's what Kingdom Business prepares you to do.